Hey everyone, it's Kyle from Kool Collectibles, back again for another review. This time it's the Takara Transformers Optimus Prime pen. For all your Transformer needs, click the link in the description below to head on over to Robot Kingdom. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, so here are all the contents, and I gotta say straight up front that I was a little bit surprised at the small size of the item when I did receive it. For some reason, even going through all the pictures and so on, I was expecting something a little bit bigger. I'll just give you guys a quick comparison against, say, a Masterpiece Transformers collector card here. So it's not much bigger than that, and it's probably about just under 10 centimeters or roughly thereabouts. So it is pretty small, and I guess I was surprised because these things do retail for around the $50 mark. So I was a bit surprised there. But the closer you have a look at the figure, it starts to sort of justify the price a little bit, but it is pretty expensive. So I'll just give you a look at the packaging. So not much to write about on the front there, and the back, the poses they've selected there for the box art on the back is pretty nice. I do like that one quite a lot. I'm not sure what the Japanese says, but that's pretty much the packaging. It comes with the instruction manual, which is printed on nice glossy and thick paper, which is nice. And the instructions are pretty useful as well, so I use them. And the gun here is pretty nice, and that doubles as the pen tip, which we'll get to in a second. And the figure itself, just give you guys a closer look. The only paint app I can sort of see are all the silver parts. All the silver paint is okay, and I think there is the bit of yellow there, but everywhere else I think is just molded plastic, and I think that's probably a good thing. There are some very tight tolerances with this, I think, and it probably would run the risk of a lot of paint scratching if it didn't have so much plastic. And I think overall it doesn't really detract from the look of this thing as well. So I'll just give you guys a run through of the articulation, which is where this figure really does shine. So there are pretty much these ball jointed, double hinged things all over the place. So there's a lot of range of movement in the shoulders in both directions, double jointed elbows, which is fantastic. So you get a lot of range of motion there. It does have a ball joint in the hip here, which you can probably just slightly tell in there. So it gives the range of motion like so, and these sort of flare out as it poses, which is nice. And the legs, there's a lot of range of motion in the legs. This sort of lifts up as well slightly, so there's a lot of range of motion there. It does have double jointed knees as well, so you get a lot of good range of motion like so. And of course with the ball joint on the ankle here, you can get all sorts of ranges of motion with, I love the ankle rocker. Any figure with ankle rockers is a good figure for me. So you get lots of posability options. The head turns in all directions, looks up and down really well, cocks to the side and so on, so lots of motion there. And the figure even looks pretty damn good from the back as well, so lots of posability options. And it does look pretty cool. You just put the gun in the hand here, and you could have, you know, the classic Optimus Prime stance, just looking to the side like so, and that does look pretty cool. So the transformation on the first go, there is probably only one step that is a bit of a pain, but everything else is pretty straightforward. So I'll just take you through that now. Just hold on a second. Alright, to start this transformation, you just pull these feet slightly down, so you'll hear a click like so, and pull this one down, and then you just flick them up like so, and then turn that around. Let's do the same on this side and turn that around, so it essentially looks like that on that side. These panels, you can then just flip these panels out like so. Just line that up like that. And then on this side you can then flip these little silver parts out. They've got these strategically placed little nodules that you can get your fingertips in. That's probably one thing you'll need to transform this, is some decent fingernails. I had a bit of trouble because I just recently cut mine. And then you flip these little blue things on the inside of his thighs up, like so. Do the same on this side. Like so. And then you just flick his waist up, and then just rotate his legs all the way up like that. And then you'll see here this little piece here, so you have to pull that down and then spin it around. So you just try and get your finger. This was a little bit tricky at the start, so I think I just pull that down like so. You'll hear a click, and then you can spin it around, and once you spin it around you then pull it down again like so until you see that sort of half gap in that at the bottom there, and you will need to have that pulled all the way down to be able to clip the legs together properly, because that is the next fiddly bit. Then you just put his legs back down again, and so that little clip here is where you're trying to line up and fit it in these slots here. So you see the I don't know if you can see the slots in the silver bit at the top there, so that fits right into there. And it wasn't a bit of a pain to get it in the first time, so let me just try and slot that in, and you should be able to hear a click like so. So that is fairly tight. So once you get the first one in and it's horizontal, the next one here should be a little bit easier. Now it's not working out that way. So let me just try. Oh, there we go. Well, that wasn't too bad. So then you get that tight in there. Now I should have put the gun in beforehand, so I'll just show you, just splay those out a little bit. There are a couple of grooves inside there that fit the shape of this thing, and the handle sort of fits in through this gap here. So you can sort of line that up like so, and then gradually press all of those together, and they should be fairly tight, like so. And on the back, you might just have to play around, but you get the idea there. And that is essentially the tip of the pen. Now with the arms, you just swing the arms up for now, and then these parts here you just swing out like so. And I gotta say, the one that I had on this side, this little rotation piece here that you see was actually assembled reversed, and because it was reversed you can't clip it onto this section here, so I had to dip this thing in some boiling water for a couple of minutes and soften up the plastic, and then just pry it apart to get the pin out, and then I just flipped the little rotation bit in and stuck it back in. So now it transforms as it should. So once you rotate those out, you just press that out and swing these pieces out like so. I'll just change the instructions to the next page. What happens then is you push his head down. So you just push his head down so it's sitting like that slightly. Rotate his arms up and over his head like so, and then you then take these pieces here, and that little gap there rotates around and clips in to there. So you just adjust it, and then you just clip it in like so. And when this piece here was actually reversed, it wouldn't clip in, so it's a definite change if you get yours misassembled like that. So just change that around there, and then the body sort of rocks around like this, and so you have to use this piece here, and that locks into place like so, I think. There we go. and that locks in fairly well, so there's no more movement in the torso area. Then with these arms, you pretty much fold them back, and so you see the I'm not sure what those are called, the exhaust pipes here. You just put them along the little insert along the side there, and then just turn these around, turn the fists around so those are facing on the outside, turn that around on the outside, and then essentially all you're doing is using that double joint and folding the fists down, and there will be a click, so you'll see a little notch there and a little gap in there, so you just snap that in place, I think, like so. Bend that down and snap that in place, and then there are these two clips here and a clip there, and so you just insert those between each other like so, and that is pretty much it for the top of the pen. Actually, I think that is pretty much it. So I think you look at it from that end. So that is pretty much it. So what do? You then take the tip of the pen, and you can they give you a nice little slot back here to with that little notch here to store the cap. So you just put that there, and then you can start writing away. And it's a black pen, and it does look fairly streamlined. I think I'm not sure if that's supposed to be folded up there or not, or you could have that down like so. But fairly streamlined, and it does write fairly well. I didn't bring a piece of paper with me. You can have a look here. So writes fairly well, so nothing to complain about from that perspective anyway. So that is pretty much it. It is a cool little piece for Transformers fans out there. So just a bit of Optimus awesomeness in your riding habits during the day. So have a look at getting it from Robot Kingdom. They've got it listed now for about $50, and I'm not sure where else you can get it. I don't know if BBTS and a few other places might have it as well. So if you're into Transformers and like to use Optimus as a pen, definitely this is the way to go. So hope you like that quick review. Hope you can click that subscribe button. I've got the last two figures from Wave 2 of the Combiner Wars. So I hope you can stick around for that. And thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.